Before I waste your time with a hook, that's completely irrelevant to the video. If you know tons about silver, you might want to watch a different video. If you don't know enough about silver and you want to educate yourself just that little bit, getting off the mark, what silver is, should you buy it, what it's used for, and you've got that kind of seed in your head that's saying you should buy it but you just don't know, then this video is probably for you. So let's get into it. Firstly, what is silver? For thousands of years, silver's had monetary uses. That means it's been used as a financial asset, you could say, a financial tool. It's been used as money. Only until recently, the American quarter was silver, and people are still using them now and still hoarding them now, and some people are still holding on to them after all these years, even when they were taken out of circulation, because the government kind of knew that there was a silver deficit and the industrial uses and the demand for silver were going to go up. So the best thing to do was to turn real solid silver money into cheap alloys. So that's its monetary value in simple, quick, short terms. It's a little more complex than that, but I don't want to overload you. I want you to understand the basics today. Its industrial uses are why today you're probably hearing more about silver than you ever have before. And its industrial uses, what does that mean? It means that it's used in industry. It means that it's used in manufacturing. Companies that manufacture a product use silver. And did you know, I can guarantee you, if you don't own silver today in this form or this form, you have silver in your house somewhere, because it's probably in your phones, your TVs, any kind of AI or computer system you have. And why? It's conductivity. Silver is one of, if not the most conductive metals on Earth, and that's why you're probably hearing about it more now than you ever have before, because as there's been a tech boom recently, Donald Trump saying that all of Europe has to increase their defense budgets. Now, what's in a missile head? There's technology, AI, these AI data centers, they need silver. The circuit boards, they need silver. There's also still its monetary value. Although it's taken out of circulation, it's still legal tender. It's still worth money. You can still pay with silver. And while I could carry on and go on and on and on about the uses in industry of silver, I don't want to overload you. I just want you to understand the basics. If you can just add that little bit of knowledge on top of what you already don't know or do know, I've done my job today with this video. However, one of the biggest silver uses right now are the next two that I want to talk about: EVs and solar. Many countries want to go to net zero in the next 20 to 30 years, like the UK, for example. Solar panels need silver. EVs, I think there's a battery coming out in 2026 that has a 600-mile radius, which requires, I'm probably wrong, 10 ounces of silver or something like that. Pop in the comments if I'm wrong. I apologise. I read it somewhere. I haven't retained that information, but it requires a lot of silver. Now, or you might ask, why don't they just buy silver? This is where it becomes a little more tricky. Silver has been in a deficit for quite some time now. That means there's been more silver used than produced. So what's happened to silver? There's people like myself, which account for a very small margin within the industry of silver, that have it in vaults, that have it in safes. And then the industry's used it in all of the things I just explained. And silver mines can't just pop up. And silver, while you can mine it directly, the majority of it is a byproduct of mining other metals. What does that mean, Josh? I don't understand. It means that mines are mining a specific metal that isn't silver, and in its process, silver's created or mined additionally to the metal they were mining, like copper, for example. And that's why you can't just make more silver. The process making silver is so long, and to open a mine, it takes up to 5 years for that mine to start producing silver. So it's not like a McDonald's or an Asda that you can just pop up and start selling from. The issue the industry has right now is the demand for silver far outweighs the amount of silver being produced. Now there's something called supply and demand. And the worst explanation I'm going to give for this is probably the best one in recent times. Do you remember every fuddy-duddy that was running round trying to buy a bottle of Prime? You know, the Prime drink that those YouTubers made, that everybody in the UK wanted under the age of 16, but nobody could get hold of them. So people were selling them for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds a bottle, queuing outside of Aldi, because there wasn't enough in the country to the demand, the amount of people wanting to buy it, so people could charge what they want. And this is where it gets interesting. Because of this deficit that we've been in, because of this overuse of silver against the amount that's been produced, the demand for silver is too high and there's a shortfall. So, how can we incentivize making more silver? Because it's not cheap. Put the price up. So by putting the price up of silver, people like myself will take my silver and send it to a silver or bullion dealer, who will send it to the refinery, who will sell it back to industry. Or it will encourage the companies that are already mining other metals and mining silver as a byproduct to make more. It will encourage new silver mines to be opened, because all of a sudden silver's worth a lot of money. And that's where I come to the last bit. Let's talk about the investment side of silver. Let's talk about should you buy it, and let's talk about the potential. Silver isn't slowing down at all. In fact, over the Christmas period, silver shot up by 15%. When everybody should have been distracted opening presents, silver went through the roof in the biggest climb in precious metal history, along with platinum, along with palladium. These are also conductive metals, but we'll do another video on those. So let me put some bits into perspective for you. If you had bought this silver coin a year ago, you would have paid 25 British pounds for this coin. If you try to buy this coin today without the premiums on, which are the additional markup companies put on to sell it because the demand's so high, remember the prime situation, supply and demand, you won't get one of these for less than £70 today. So if I had bought this for £28 a year ago, I can sell this today for £70. If I want a quick sell, I can go to a bullion dealer and they'll give me around 58 to 59 Great British pounds. So I've still doubled my money. Is it too late to buy silver? God, no. I have purchased silver in every single hike in price, because for me, the industrial uses for silver and the manufacturing has an awful long time to catch up. So Should you buy silver? Absolutely. And this is the main reason why. There's something called inflation. Now, money in its paper form and its coin form, actual fiat currency, the £20 note, for example, the $100 bill, these are only worth what you can buy with them. It's actually worth nothing. It's only worth the item you've purchased. So, if you put $100 or £20 in a bank, the bank will offer you between 3 and 5% interest on your saving, which means that because you've banked with this certain bank, they're going to give you 3 to 5% a year free money. Sounds like a good deal, right? But it's not. This is why. Inflation counts for around 6 to 8%. That means everything is 6 to 8% more expensive. And because your money is only worth the things you can buy with it, it's actually depreciating, because you can buy less of the items that you could have bought before you put your money in the bank. So banks are giving you 3 to 5%, but inflation's at 6 to 8%. So you're losing 2 to 4% every single year of your money by banking it. But if you buy one of these, you'd have doubled your money this year, and you'd have countered inflation. And that, guys, is an overall very basic explanation on what silver is, and a very, very, very amateur explanation of the uses and value of silver. I hope I've helped you today. I will go into a little more depth of certain items to buy and where to start your stack, but that's not today. Thank you for watching the Silver Community. We'll catch up soon.